Yeah, bitches be ballin', episode number 15. We are in the midst of fantasy playoffs, Kayla, and it's stressful.
Yeah, this year is just killing me. Even with all the injuries, oh my god.
So we're going to talk about how we're doing in our various leagues, and we're also bringing
Mhm.
in, again, from the Bitches Be Ballin' all-female league, Emma, who I just had the most intense first-round matchup with, and I thought it'd be really fun to kind of peek under the covers and talk about how our week-long matchup went and the different moves that we made. And yeah, because I said this in our Discord, I will honestly say that Emma is the finest head-to-head matchup person I've ever gone up against. Like,
She knows her shit. She's
she
good.
knows her shit. She knows how to work the streaming mechanism. Like, it is an art form, and Emma is she's got it down. So I think that's what this ep will do. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. So
But before we get into it, something very important. I finally
oh,
got my Toronto Tempo hoodie.
very
So
nice.
very, very happy
When
about
do
that.
they start? Like, is that next season? Not this
I
season, right?
think it is next season. Yeah,
Yeah.
2026. Yeah, pretty sure.
Cool.
Very excited for that.
Next season. I thought it was gonna start this season.
I'm pretty sure
Maybe
it's
it's just
next
the
year,
Valkyrie.
but
Yeah, maybe she's Valkyries.
let's see.
Very cool that Serena is part owner in the Tempo too.
Very cool. Yeah, I gotta say though, like the logo, I love it. I mean, the
I
name
love
is
it.
still, but the logo, I'm all for it.
So what's their main color? Is it like some kind of burgundy wine?
Yeah, like one of the hoodies I was looking at, it was like a burgundy-ish with the gray, which I'm not
Mhm.
really a big fan of. I kind of like this one better because it's like black and then almost like a lightish blue. I just find that goes better.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
light blue.
It's almost like a light blue. It's kind of hard to like
That's
see, but it's like
cool.
a
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
that's
like a
cool.
lightish blue. Yeah. It just looks
Yeah.
good with like the black. Yeah.
And then what's along the arm?
It says Toronto Tempo.
Oh,
Very
nice.
nice.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
that. I'm
Good
obsessed.
typography.
Oh, very. Yeah. I'm obsessed with it. I'm gonna be wearing it like every episode now.
And Emma's gonna be the commish of our very first WNBA league, for
Mhm.
Bitches Be Ballin', so very excited about that. All right, let's talk fantasy playoffs. So, I think most of us have started our playoffs already. There's one league that I'm in that always goes basically to the end of the season, so playoffs aren't gonna
Mm.
start for a couple weeks. I know. It's, Steve Alexander, who goes by Dr. A, and he's an
Okay, yeah.
analyst. He fucking loves silly season. Like, it is his favorite time of the year. So he just has the season go as long as possible so he gets maximum silly season time. But it kinda works in my favor this year because I'm either 1 or 2 seed, and I'll have a bye, and I've got so many fucking I've got Sabonis and AD, and so as much
Oh, okay.
time I mean,
Yeah.
AD is likely out, but as much time as I can give, like, my other dudes. I also have Fred VanVleet. So I'm good with the longer
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
would have been screwed otherwise, so
Oh,
it's your
big
only
time.
chance. Yeah.
Big time. So maybe it's luck, but, I think I speak for all of us. We're all hit by injuries. Like, no one is spared from the injury thing. And last
Well, yeah.
week, uh, I have Halliburton in my Bitches Be Ballin' league, and he didn't play a couple games, and I thought I was screwed. So let's talk about the matchup between Thundercats and 365 Landry Girl.
It's after Landry Fields, Hawks GM.
Yes,
So,
but
yeah.
that's it, right? 365
Yes.
Landry Girl. Who when we were because our league was probably one of the most tight leagues I've ever been in. Like, everybody
Mhm.
was, like, basically 10,
Except for
9 for
Nova
a
Nix,
third,
who was like
except for Nova
way
Nick.
ahead of
Yeah.
everyone else. Yeah, like 2 through 9 were like so close.
So there were actually, like, ties, win-loss, ties, games behind tied. So I went and did, like, season-long matchups, and whoever beat the other one got the higher seeding, which I think worked out fine. But it was right up until the very last Sunday before we knew, like, who was gonna be in or out. And I was
Mhm.
just doing the math a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, shit. Of all the people to go up against. I do not want to go up against Emma because from our matchup earlier in the season, where we had combined 2 weeks, and I doubled our moves to 10 moves. I looked at the week. I kind of I modeled it at Basketball Monster, and I was like, oh, I think I got this matchup with Emma. And then lo and behold, fucking 2 weeks later, she beats me 5-4 because she used every single move and screamed like a motherfucker and completely beat me. And I was like, what the hell just happened? And so
Yeah, at the end of regular season, you could see like how many waiver moves everyone had used, and I was the most, I think, and then Hottie Barnes, both of us, I feel like had to claw our way into the playoffs, so we grinded for it. So.
Oh my God. Hats off. So going into this matchup, I was like, okay, I gotta be on my top of my shit because Emma's gonna be using her moves really wisely. And you did. Like you're very judicious with your moves too. Whereas I definitely slipped up with a couple of my moves. Like I would listen to fucking Josh Lloyd, who was saying like, okay, after Monday or Tuesday, drop your Wizards players. Just drop them, stream somebody else in. So I was like, okay, I had Keyshawn George. And I was like, yeah, he's okay. I'm going to do what Josh says and I'm going to stream his spot. And I fucking shouldn't have dropped him because he had defense stats like I could have used, and then like once I saw the matchup was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna lose this matchup. So I'm like, I made like I think I had a glass of wine and I shouldn't have a glass of wine. But like right before tip off of a Clippers game, I was like, okay, I gotta get in a game. I gotta get in someone new. So I'll fucking put in Amir Coffee, who like didn't do anything for me. And I ended up dropping him the next day and totally wasted a move. And so then I was like, oh shit, this is not only I thought, okay, it's gonna come down to steals. So then I was
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was making moves based on that. And then I was like, oh no, it's gonna be fucking threes and assists. So then I'm like, or no, then threes, assists, but also steals. So I was like, oh, who can I pick up? I really need assists. So I picked up Davion Mitchell, which ended up being a good move.
Yeah, that won you the matchup for sure. He had so many assists.
He had so many assists. He didn't have any steals, weirdly. And then I was just praying that I would hold on in the last Sunday, and sure enough, fucking held on, and I won by 1 assist and like 1 3.
1-3. Yeah. That's crazy how close it was, but wow,
Yeah,
just like
Giannis
kudos
only
to
got
both
like
of you.
Giannis only got like 3 assists, which is like half of what he normally gets on Sunday. So if he had just, but I had other players like I picked up Najee Marshall at the beginning of the week before. Was it even? I'm trying to think if it was like before Kyrie tore his ACL. I don't remember. It was before something major where he would just be like a background player, but then he got like nearly triple doubles, like in all, like he had 10 assists on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Najee Marshall, you wouldn't expect that. So
yeah, the map is just like really shorthanded right now. So Marshall for the W.
And on that Sunday, Emma, like I knew they were going to sit Zion, but I thought maybe they would sit Giannis. And then I was like, so classic Emma, you have like all of your IL and your IL plus filled to the brim, and you're just able to like swap guys in and out. But I was like, oh my God, at some point, like she might have to drop somebody. But then like weirdly, like a bunch of guys played for you on the Sunday, like Wiggins played, Giannis played. There were some others that were questionable that played for
Jordan
you too.
Poole played either on Saturday or Sunday, and he had been out for like over a week.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of like my team was ultimately I knew I was drafting a pretty risky team because I had Giannis my first pick, and then once LaMelo had fallen to like 16 or 17, I was like, I think it's worth the risk. So I drafted him, and then I was doing punt free throws with Giannis is the only option there really. And I kept feeling like guys are too good of values, but they were like Zion and LeBron, and I mean I picked Mark Williams I feel like at 100, so it definitely worked out to some degree. because he's like a top 50 player, but it really allowed me to felt like just do crazy shit with the IL plus because LeBron and Giannis every single game are listed probable. So you could just wait until like 6 p.m. the day they don't play, and then they would get like game time decision tag, and you could put them in IL and then add someone else, and then by the time it was the next day, before like if you had LeBron and IL plus, before it was the next day, you'd be able to switch him and Giannis. So it was definitely frustrating to have players obviously be like Zion and LaMelo and Mark Williams often sitting the back-to-backs, but it made it so I could
Basically a
move people
streaming
around.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty easily. So, and this is really the only league I've ever played, I feel like, where I have instant ads. I've always done the waiver like claim at a certain time in the morning. So I feel like I would definitely missed out a few times on, oh, this guy got injured and you can add that guy like immediately. But otherwise I feel like because of being able to do this game with the IL plus, I feel like it worked out for my team.
I actually had a similar approach too. In one of my other leagues, I had Trae Young, and he would before every game always be listed probable, and they would do that like the day before. So it basically opened up like a guaranteed streaming spot for you, which is actually really helpful because then you don't have to drop someone else that you don't want to.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. The Hawks started doing that after they got fined for like the league saying they like sat Trae for a game. So now every game he's probable to be like,
it works for me though, so I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have LaMelo and Trae in our 14 team league, Kayla. So I've been working that a lot. Yeah, so it was a really tough matchup and well fought. Like I love it when you're both fighting, you know, like I think it's just really fun that way. And versus somebody that's not even playing anymore. Just
it's not fun when it's like that.
You gotta have a little what they're gonna do. Yeah,
exactly.
I think that's how it is in my other Yahoo league that just started the playoffs today. I just to toot my own horn, I was in the first seed. I think I have like 15 wins ahead of like the next team. So the 8th seed they have a bunch of injuries, but they're not even like putting the players in the IL to sub other people in. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think they're really participating in this one.
Are they setting lineups at least?
I guess they are, but like they have players that they could have put in the injury spot, like, but they're just not. So
yeah,
I don't like that. Like sometimes it's nice to get like an easy win, I will say that, but I mean if you were to win the league, it doesn't feel like you actually won, which I don't like, because I had one league like that.
I have a vendetta against this league because they sent one of my trades to veto, which goes to like, it's a Yahoo public league, so it goes to like the Yahoo front office, and it was not a bad trade. It turned out to be a bad trade because I was trading for Trey Murphy, and that was before he really took off to be like a top 30 player or whatever, but it was not a bad trade when it happened, and they vetoed, like the Yahoo league office vetoed it, and I was very angry because I was like, this isn't fair. So I feel like I am very passionate about crushing. I don't know who reported me, but whoever they are.
Burn that place down, Emma.
Exactly.
Take no prisoners. What the fuck is a league office? Is that like a room full of
like
these
some
pasty
Yahoo
tech nerds?
employees? I don't know.
That say like
they are.
veto.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
It is weird. Because I guess someone in the league can say like, hey, I think this trade is not fair. And then it goes to some higher up who determines that, yeah, it's not fair.
Is it a money league?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How much is it?
I think it's $50 entry.
Nice.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
I had done the Yahoo public leagues in the past and found like kind of similar annoying experiences. And I don't really like the IL as opposed to IL plus because it's just kind of finicky. And so I was vowed to never do one again, but then one of my leagues in Fantrax this year, like I like doing auction drafts, and the auction glitched, so I had to reschedule it, but they rescheduled it at the same time as the Bitches Be Ballin' draft. So then I was like, well, I have to ditch that league. So then I was like, well, I guess I'll join a Yahoo Public to get my auction fix, and I'm doing amazing. So I'm not going to complain, but it is annoying that they vetoed my trade.
Definitely. Yeah. We should do a BBB auction league because I've actually never done one. So I'd love to get the experience.
Oh my God, they're so fun. It's like my favorite thing.
Yeah, we'll have to try that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's make it auction next time because there's a whole nother level of strategy that goes into it that I find very fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My team, like this league, I definitely try to go for the balanced approach. So let's see, who's like the best player I have? I would say the best player I have is Jada, but you know, when he's exceeded expectations. So like maybe when you were drafting him, he was like going around like 30 or something like that. So I have like J-Dub and Franz as kind of the best guys. But after that, my players are like from rank 30 to rank like 90 or something. All of them.
Who was your first pick and how deep is the league?
It's an auction. So.
Right. Duh.
Yeah.
So, but is it like 12 person?
League? Yeah, it's 12 person with 13-man rosters. So gotcha. I don't have any guys who, and then of course I have Dyson, like I have everywhere. So Dyson and Norm Powell, so they just are way better than like they cost like $1 and then
that's crazy
so good,
value.
So.
Amazing. Yeah, so a lot of people were sleeping on Norm this year, which was funny.
You were the only one that was saying Norm, and then he was it.
I have Norm Powell in one of my dynasty leagues, so I was like invested in his success, I guess. So I was just willing it. And you know, if you take him in like the second or the last round, you know, obviously if it doesn't work out, it's just not a big deal. So
yeah, even with Dyson too, like in a lot of leagues, he went like near the end. And I think there was one I did where he went undrafted, but it was only because it was such a shallow league. And then once he started going off, then I picked him up really quick. I think it was like a 8-team league. Yeah. Sure. So that's the only reason where he should have been like undrafted.
Yeah. In our matchup, I thought I was in the hunt for steals, and then fucking Dyson went off for a 5 steal game, and then I was like, okay, that's over.
If I can't win steals with Dyson, what's the point of even having him on the squad? So
literally,
that's how I felt with Chet.
Chet and blocks.
Yeah.
But he went for those 4 blocks on the last day there. So
man, yeah, he saved me there. So good battle, Emma, and auction for next year. I think would be great. So what else is happening around the leagues here? Kayla, how many are you in? How many are you out? What, you played 11 leagues?
I'm in 11 and I am out for I'm just looking, I think 4.
Yeah. And how many head-to-heads were there?
Head-to-heads, I think are like 9 or 10. Yeah, so one of them is Roto.
5.
Yeah. So quite a bit still going on. My playoffs just started this week, aside from BBB, but I didn't make the playoffs. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, just because I had Wemby and Kyrie in that league, so I would have been.
Oh, you had Kyrie too?
Oh yeah,
I knew you had Jalen Johnson, so I was like, oh, no Wemby and Jalen Johnson.
Oh my god, yeah, I did.
That's tough.
I forgot.
But Kyrie too. That's really brutal. You had no hope.
Oh yeah, I was basically done, and even I had Pirtle too, and Pirtle's been missing like stretches. Drew Holiday had, so like I was kind of done. But yeah, so far going good. In the leagues that I really care about, I'm doing well. So that's the main thing for me.
That's good. Emma, what about you?
So I have some like, I have 2 dynasty leagues where I'm like tanking, so I didn't expect to make the playoffs in those. And then otherwise I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess like 6 leagues with playoffs. Other ones are Roto leagues. And one ended really early, like they've already ended the whole thing. And I lost in the second round because I had a bunch of injured players, so I just kind of fizzled out. And then another league, unfortunately, I lost my matchup on Sunday, and I had so many injuries. I had Maxi, I had John Collins, I had Colin Sexton, I had Andrew Wiggins, I had Tatum, who missed like maybe only one game, but he's still my best player. And I know it's a bummer because I was the 1 seed, so I was like, I lost in the second. I won the first round matchup, but like just barely, and then I lost in the second round. Like I was destroyed. And then in the Locked On Fantasy Bowl, I won my first week matchup by literally 1 turnover. But this week, I matched up against the person who is the number 1 person in the whole bowl. So I'm not feeling too hopeful about being able to beat.
So they were in your division.
Yeah, who's ranked 1 out of 120. So
fucking, what color are you in?
Red.
Red. Yeah, I'm in brown. Oh man. And did you model it out? What's it? Do you have any hope?
I would have to have his players miss games. I feel like it said I think it had me winning like 2 or 3 categories, and then maybe 1 being close, but it didn't really seem like necessarily 5 of them were close enough where I would be able to pull it off. But yeah, I mean, I like the games cap, and I like to try to like strategize who to play, but I do love, obviously, as you've seen, I love the stream, so I can't just like figure out a way to load in as many players as humanly possible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, I love having the deep roster in the Locked On Bowl because you can basically like reimagine your team for each matchup.
Yeah.
But yeah, streaming is like not a thing with 40 games cap. I'm still alive in that. I mean, I won my first week's matchup 5-4. And again, this guy was like, he was fighting me. He was like changing out players. He was doing a really good job too. And it was really down to the wire with him. But this week, my matchup is equally as tough. I guess it's the semifinal in your division this week. And then the top 2 go to the freaking Battle Royale. Have you ever done the Battle Royale, Emma?
I was in the Battle Royale last year. I mean, I did terrible, but I did make it. So I'm bummed that I don't think I will this year. But
so you're literally playing against 100 different teams?
Yeah, something like that.
Holy shit!
It's so crazy, and you can't make any waiver moves, right? Like you take your team into it as it is.
Your team into it. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I mean, the waiver is so thin with the deep rosters that I don't think I can make any moves but I don't know, who knows? But I really hope I make it in because that sounds crazy to me.
Yeah, there's really like, it's crazy, but there's not that much I feel like strategically I could do. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna play my best players, like the best games I think I can get. So, but yeah, it's fun. I'm kind of confused how that works with the like Roto. Are you in the Locked On Roto League?
I am. It's not. There is no battle royale in Roto. It's just
right. Just who finishes at the top
in your division. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm doing shitty in that league. And I'm doing shitty in our industry league because it's just I had a lot of injuries. I mean, I had Kyrie.
I had a lot of Kyrie, which worked out well till then.
Yeah. Forever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm cooked in that league too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's done for me.
I don't know. Roto is like, I used to love Roto. Like, that's how I got started, but it just didn't do it for me this year, you know? I don't know. Compared to my
this year, like I wasn't a big fan of it, but only because I feel like I could have done better. I mean, this is my first time playing Roto, so that's why I was a little bit like frustrated with it. I mean, right now I'm 7th out of 12, so not horrible, but for a long time I was like 3rd or 4th, and then I just kind of dipped.
You used up too many games, Kayla.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, I was looking at the wrong thing, so
Oh no.
I messed up a little bit there. But only because I don't like fan tracks either. Like the format of it just kind of throws me off too. No excuses, but I want to try Roto again next year and just right. And I did make a trade. I traded Giannis for Ant Edwards.
Yeah,
that's a decent trade for
Smith was
Roto.
Matt Smith was like trying to remake his team near the end there.
Oh yeah, he reached out to me a lot of times. He wanted Gobert at one point, and I didn't, just because I was so ahead in like rebounds and blocks. No, I needed like rebounds and blocks, but I should have probably done it looking back. But after he offered me Edwards, I was like, you know what? Like I could use some scoring. Like Giannis was like 70th ranked like player, so I was like, screw it, just get rid of him. And it didn't really help me much, but yeah.
Yeah, he really tried to get LeBron from me, which in hindsight, I guess I should have given it to him. But he was offering me like Harden, somebody else, and I was just like, no, I'm not going to trade with you. You're going to win it anyway. Or he's got a really strong team, so I didn't want to make him any stronger.
Speaking of trades, I was looking back, thinking about this podcast about when you had offered me Halliburton for LaMelo. And seeing
my God, I've forgotten about
if I had done that trade, if it had been, would have been different. So during this matchup, it was definitely preferable to have LaMelo because of Halliburton's missed games. I don't know if I had Halliburton when LaMelo missed all those games, if maybe I would have been a higher seed and then I wouldn't have had to play you. But for the matchup, ultimately, LaMelo had more assists and more threes, which is what his purpose would be.
Yeah, I had forgotten I did that.
Yeah.
That was when
Halliburton
was obviously terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I did regret trading Collier with you because like, yes, this would have been good, but oh well. I fucking Makovich. I thought, Makovich, he's gonna be a thing. No.
Yeah, he still could be too. I mean, like a Zion shutdown, like
I just dropped Scoot. Like, I don't think Scoot's gonna happen before the end of our season. So it's like I'm not, he's not gonna be crazy end of season Scoot in the next 2 weeks. So I had to drop him.
I feel like the Trailblazers are trying to get in the play-in. I mean, they're like
they're putting their best guys out there. Yeah.
So I think they're just trying to really win. So I have my Locked On Bowl team is like all Trailblazers. I have Anthony Simons, I have Denny Avdia, and Shaden Sharp.
Nice.
But I was kind of worried about it because I was worried, they're not going to play. But it's like, no, they're trying to win, so they are playing. So that's useful at least.
Yeah, that's taking a turn.
Yeah, I wish that Ayton hadn't gotten hurt because he would have been he was balling out. He was so good. But yeah. So does anyone else's go till April 6th? Anybody's leagues except for Roto?
I have one league that goes maybe till like nearly April 6th. I think it goes maybe just like a few days, like maybe April 1st.
Yeah.
And it's this like dynasty-ish league. It was like the first fantasy league that I was in, so I'm in that right now. It's like a 30-team league, and I am the first team in my division, but it's another team where I have Norm Powell, and I had Larry Nance, and I had the Anthony Melton. So that's a lot of players down for, I think, probably the rest of the season. Oh, no, I think Norm will come back. I don't think Norm will be out for the rest of the season. But, and then I tried, we can't do any like streaming during the playoffs. So I tried to add people that I thought would be useful, which is hard to do when you have 30 times 14 players on teams. So I added DeAndre Jordan because he was playing like every game for the Nuggets. Yeah. And then ever since I added him, he just doesn't play anymore. So it's annoying.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes with streaming. It's like they know. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah, it's so frustrating.
Michael Malone hates me.
I saw the cutest DeAndre Jordan. I think it was on TikTok. He's teaching himself Japanese. And he's really good. Oh, nice. He's like, his pronunciation is really good. So it endeared him to me a little bit.
It's awesome. It's so hard to learn another language.
Yeah, you're learning Maltese.
Yes. Very, very hard though.
Emma, can you speak any other languages?
I've studied numerous other languages. I never get far enough to be skilled enough. Like, I took French growing up because my mom, she was she lived in Switzerland growing up, and then she was a French major in college. So it was just like, she loves France, so I studied French. And then in college, decided I wanted to take Arabic. And I had a really nice Arabic professor, but he wasn't a good teacher. So I did like 2 semesters with that teacher, and then I moved on to a real teacher, and I was like, oh wow, I actually didn't learn anything. So I'm screwed. So then I stopped doing that, and I was like, I should really take Spanish because that's actually the most useful language to learn as a second language in the US. And that's the language I guess I got the farthest in. And then I even took Spanish classes like after graduating college for a while. But then I got busy, and then there was like the pandemic, so I wasn't going to in-person Spanish classes anymore. And it would be nice to pick up again, but
yeah, it's hard. It's very time consuming. I actually learned French in school. I mean, I shouldn't say learned, I studied it. I never actually got very far in the language, but we had to learn it in Canada because it's our second language. Sure. And Arabic too. It's actually very similar to Maltese, and it is so hard. Like, even the pronunciation of it, it's very difficult. Oh God, I'm fighting for my life. It's hard. Like, I have a whole like notebook and everything, like breaking down like the alphabet, the pronunciation of things, like nouns, like all the shit. And I'm just like dying.
You can do it.
So hard.
You can do it, Kayla.
Thank you. Hopefully one day I'll be fluent. Thanks,
well,
guys.
once you're there this summer, you'll pick it right back up, I bet.
I hope so. I went last year and like I picked up on a couple of words, but like it's so hard when everyone's talking to you in Maltese and you're just sitting there like, I can't understand a word you're saying.
But you've been studying since then, so I bet it'll be a lot more familiar to you. At least you'll be able to like listen and probably know
that's the thing. Like, I haven't learned like words yet. It's more just like the very basics, because I think my problem was I just kind of dived in and started learning words right away without actually understanding like the alphabet, like the pronunciation of letters and things like that. So I'm starting from like the very basics, and it's actually making a difference.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, guys, this was good. Emma, thanks for sharing kind of your strategy under the hood stuff. If anyone has any questions about how to stream, Emma
she's the expert.
The queen of streaming, guys. Okay. Well, Kayla, let's not get caught.
Let's keep going.